Bodybuilding pro tip: get a really good amount of sleep for you, particularly you. For me, I don't use an alarm. I just wake up naturally, and I usually feel pretty good. If you're limited to a certain amount of hours, like maximum, then you really want to optimize that sleep. So before bed, stay away from bright screens. So try to dim the lights and stop using technology 1 to 2 hours out from bed. Meditate, read a book, relax, journal. Like if you're really having trouble with sleep, I highly recommend meditating. Like I said, there's an app on the iPhone called Calm with tons of guided meditations, and it could probably. Don't ever weigh yourself at the gym. It's pointless. Weigh yourself in the morning after you use the bathroom, and then step on the scale. 174.4 this morning. Pretty good. Let's check it out. Sweet. You can see the shreds coming in. Dude, I feel like a religious evangelist every time someone purchases the muscle and strength pyramids. Like, I literally feel like, dude, that person just got saved. I'm gonna show you guys a quad check real quick. That's how it's looking right now. Granted, I'm right in front of a window, so. You want to weigh yourself every single day because the body weight fluctuates. It goes up and down even while you're losing fat, even while you're losing tissue. See that? Someone asked me, why do I eat rice cakes after my workouts? Why don't I eat something like a faster acting carb, honey or banana, he said. And I say, life's not necessarily about worrying about slow or fast carbs, in my opinion. Life's about enjoyment. I enjoy and love my rice cakes on the way home from the gym. Second off, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I believe rice cakes, if you're to even judge them based on glycemic index, I believe they're a fast-acting carb. Anyway. And thirdly, I'm cutting, so I like a high volume of food in terms of the feel of filling up my stomach, so. Shake time! Oh! That's all the time. Matt, what exercises should I do on my upper body day or my push day or my pull day? Simple answer is just pick the exercises that'll fully work the muscles you want to hit. When you design a workout for yourself, just keep it simple. For your chest, have a flat or decline press, one incline press, maybe a fly, done with chest. If it's a push day and the first 2 or 3 exercises were a flat and an incline press and a fly, you probably don't need to do an overhead press. You already did tons of anterior deltoid. But if you don't want to not do overhead presses, maybe on your second push day of the week or alternate weeks, you start with an overhead press and then you do chest. Someone asked me, Matt, you talk about carb cycling. I want to do 0 carb for 1, 2, or 3 days and then load on the 4th. My recommendation, just don't. Talk about diet sodas though. We got this Diet Coke, that Diet Coke, this Coke Zero, A&W Diet Root Beer. So guys, my mom doesn't know this, but I'm going to surprise her and buy her a car on my birthday, March 21st. What car should I get her? So my mom's always wanted like one of those compact SUV type Lexuses. But the thing is, I've been looking at them lately and they just don't look that great, I guess. Like, to be honest, I've seen an Acura like RDX that looked better. I've seen freaking, I think it's like a Volvo XO60 that looks better. Some people say, I don't count anything green or I don't count vegetables as carbs. It's like, dude, you're smarter than that. If it has carbs, it has carbs. There's a difference between, let's just say, not weighing out my spinach because I know that there's not going to be that big of a difference whether I weigh it or just eyeball it. That being said, just because I don't weigh my green beans or spinach or whatever, doesn't mean that they don't have caloric value. Come on, guys. That being said, if you're tracking stuff in MyFitnessPal, just track everything. Whether you eyeball it, you weigh it, or whatever. It's easy. I get asked quite often, Matt, what's your opinion on insert supplement here? To be honest, guys, if I don't talk about it quite often, then I really don't have an opinion on it. I probably don't recommend it. And last but not least, unless you're on real steroids, do not attribute your results to supplements. It's you, not supplements. Someone asked me, Matt, what's your opinion on setting weight goals and then having a cheat meal once you reach those weight goals? To be honest, I think if that's how you work, that's fine. The whole idea is sustainability. Granted, I'm doing a contest prep diet. This is something completely different. But when it comes to lifestyle, it's all about sustainability. Like, are you really going to eat the way you're currently eating for the rest of your life? Ask yourself that. Like, is this cool with what you're doing forever? Think about it. But yeah, this guy wants to know, can a cheat meal set him back? It really just depends. The answer is always it depends. Depends on how much over your maintenance it is. It depends. The body does a really good job of protecting us from undereating, but not as good of a job when it comes to overeating. You could put on fat way easier than getting it off. Matt, I really want to have this cheat meal, this steakhouse burger, and I'm just thinking, bro, why don't you just make it fit into your macros? And if the fats are too high, just make it fit into your total calories. That's the next best. Guys, just a couple days ago, I went to Morton's Steakhouse, got the most expensive and most delicious steak I've ever had, and managed to fit that within my calorie limit for the day. This is all under the assumption that you're eating, fruits and vegetables on a regular basis, fiber, mostly whole foods, etc. All right, guys, masturbation and lifting. Guys, you probably definitely don't want to do that just before a workout for pretty obvious reasons. Not necessarily the masturbation that's the bad part. In fact, if you were not to orgasm, it'd probably be fine. In fact, it probably would be better. You'd probably have better performance if you did that. That's just my opinion. I don't think the science actually suggests that. But yes, orgasm in men, especially men, can really induce relaxation and loss of. Someone asked me, is cigarettes a bad idea? Smoking cigarettes, bruh. I don't even think you need to ask me that, man. Just Google search it. It's all there. Yeah. Matt, what do you think of fast-acting carbs like dextrose right after your workout? Honestly, unless your metabolic rate is like 10,000 calories a day or you're a 1%er, don't bother. And by 1%er, I mean like you're an IFBB pro where you make all your money off of your physique and every single input matters, then yeah, go ahead, do it. Otherwise, just eat some real food because you're going to be much happier, I bet. And if you have a regular person metabolism, you're going to probably like that more. 6 months, can you raise your deadlift by 100 pounds? 435 to 530. It's a very tough question. It definitely depends. It depends is always the answer in these kind of questions. So somebody asked me, Matt, why did you increase your workout volume when cutting? And to be honest, it's about the same as the last handful of months as when I was lean gaining, bulking. Past contest preps, 2011 especially, I lowered volume right off the bat. And also I tried to maintain much harder, my lower rep range strength. This contest prep, I've accepted it, that I'm not going to be able to lift those heavy ass weights during this contest prep. And I'll maintain more muscle with the volume from lifting lighter weights. So basically, I'm lifting the same amount of volume as the bulking period, just using lighter weights. The total volume is the same, the intensity is lower. In case you didn't know, intensity doesn't mean how hard you're killing it and grinding in the gym. It actually means percentage of 1 rep max load. If you didn't know that, purchase the ebooks. You need them, seriously. All right, so my take on BCAA supplementation is generally that 90 to 99% of people watching this right now probably shouldn't and don't need it. What I mean is that the protein, the whole food protein sources that you already consume, the egg, the chicken, the beef, the protein powder, already has. If your foods already have the BCAAs, especially the leucine, you're pretty much set, and you don't really need to supplement with BCAAs, which supplementation is crazy expensive. Now, the 1% of people that it might benefit are those, I would say, who are cutting. Their livelihood depends on their physiques, and they got something at stake. So this may even stretch out to like competitive bodybuilders, competitive physique people, bikini competitors, etc., who are going to be stepping on stage. For BCAA supplementation, I would probably, hire a really smart bodybuilding coach. Like, that's better money spent right there. I'd recommend that before anyone ever buys BCAAs, they buy Eric Helms' Muscle and Strength Pyramids. Link right here, definitely. If you buy BCAAs, so in my humble opinion, don't buy BCAAs unless you have a bodybuilding coach, you're going to compete, you're in a caloric deficit, like there's something at stake, trophy, money, etc. It's a big. People are snapping me their supplement stacks. What your supplement stack should be: the pyramids, creatine, maybe caffeine, vitamin. Thank you guys so much. We are absolutely killing it on Snapchat right now. The analytics are insane. It's incredible. So keep on sharing it, and I appreciate it. I want to ask you a favor. If I've helped, screenshot my snap code by clicking my little profile thing, screenshot it, post it on your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc., so others can. Just put out one of my favorite Gymshark triggers for the first time this year. Hell yeah, I'm stoked about to go hit a push day at the gym. Muscles is popping. Alright, y'all preparing for the gym, and what is my main recommended pre-workout, if any? Just a caffeine pill. So cheap, Amazon.com. What's better for abs, diet or ab work? They're both important completely. It's not like this or this, it's both. It's almost like saying, what do you need more, oxygen or water? It's like, bruh! To an extent, everyone kind of already has abs just from living life, going to school, going to work. We all have like this small baseline. So even if you get shredded, you will have probably... The thing is this, genetics vary so differently that even before I worked abs, like my abs might have been better than a lot of your guys' abs, even though you do work. So if you want to play it safe and smart, maybe hit abs directly, once or twice a week, 3 to 5 total sets. And of course, compound lifts. You don't really have to do tons and tons of time working on your abs to get them, to build them up. Maybe just like 5 to 20 minutes, once or twice a week max, and that should probably do it. The thing to remember is that progressive overload still applies to your abs. So choosing weighted lifts or even like leg lifts, but doing them better over time. Focusing on increasing the stimulus, increasing that tension over time so that the abs want to grow so that they can handle the work that you're constantly putting them through. Hopefully, you actually build a baseline of the muscle itself before you seek to get abs, in which you lose body fat so that you can uncover and show them. Too often we start with a shred to see those abs, and we might have them, they might be cool, they might not be, but we're sometimes disappointed they're not as big and bold as we might thought they would be. I just made a post on Instagram, and in it I claimed that I don't plateau. I get asked about plateaus all the time, and one thing I must say is I don't plateau. I never have. What's really cool is once I figured out the knowledge and information that are in the ebooks that I've been promoting lately, I knew what I needed to know. I don't plateau. So some quick advice for a competitor who is doing his first show. One, I have to make the assumption you're natural, so the advice I'm going to give is based on you being natural. Of course, first and foremost, read the books, Oguspyramid.com. That's the foundation of knowledge. Once you have that, you understand what training is and what nutrition is. If you're going to pick a show, pick one that's way out in the future for most of you guys. If you're just starting to cut now, pick a show that's practically in fall or December of this year. Otherwise, just start cutting and pick a show later. Try to aim to lose 0.5 to 1.0% of your body weight per week. For most first-time competitors, you are most likely much fatter than you think you are. You're not as conditioned as you think you are. You're not going to get as conditioned as fast as you think you will. So give yourself crazy extra time, way more than necessary. It's better to be ready 4 weeks before a show than to step on stage 4 weeks overweight. Hiring a bodybuilding coach can be very helpful. Make sure that they're affiliated or referred to or by or just know Eric Helms. If your coach has never heard of Eric Helms, Alan Aragon, Brad Schoenfeld, and other names like that, Mike Israetel, you probably should not hire them. 16-year-old around 15% body fat was asking about zero carbs and cutting. Man, honestly guys, if you're 16 and you're not like 20% or over body fat, just don't cut. If you're just 16, guys, focus on eating your fruits, plenty of vegetables, 0.8 to 1.0 grams per pound of body weight for protein, and just focus on gym performance and getting strong. A lot of guys are purchasing the ebooks, Oguspyramid.com. If you snap your receipt, the download links, and send it to me, ask me a question, I'll send you a personal snap. All right, guys, the best time to do cardio, aside from schedule, is completely separate from your weight training sessions. So I just got asked the question, Matt, what do you do for a job? What do you do for work to make money? A lot of things. First, I'm a professional YouTuber, I'm a content creator. I sell my own products, whether it's digital, coaching, etc. online. Being a YouTuber and a content creator and a public figure online, companies, contact me to advertise through me, so that's another source of income. Regardless if you're a beginner or not, you should be training each muscle group more than once a week if you're trying to optimize your muscle growth. In fact, for beginners, I highly recommend full body workouts, so even training each muscle 3 times a week for beginners. So currently I'm using a Cybex Arc trainer, which is basically like a glider, elliptical type thing. Love it. So what pace should you be gaining or losing weight? Guys, it's all there in my Nutrition 101 Calories video. So I got asked about women and creatine, and generally most women just want to tone. They don't necessarily want to get larger. They want to be more sculpted. So first I'd say just, educate yourself on creatine, what it does, what it is. And you could do that at examine.com and just type in creatine. The muscle and strength pyramids also talk about the major supplements, including creatine. When it comes to your training, ladies, creatine will only help you. It will not hinder training. And it's very cheap and it's very effective. The only possible issue with creatine is mostly psychological, perhaps a little emotional. Because with creatine, you're going to be filling your muscles with more water. You'll also, over time, probably be generating lean body mass, a little bit more lean body mass. So in other words, you'll initially probably see a little spike in weight gain. You'll see the weight gain come up. Now this weight gain is not fat. It is not fat. It is not fat. You are just as beautiful, as valuable, as awesome after this creatine-induced weight gain as before. It's not fat. So ladies, if you're strength training or doing hypertrophy training, if your reps are between 1 and 15, up to even 20 reps, I recommend creatine. It can help you improve your gym performance, help you make more gains over time. With those gains, your metabolic rate will be up just a little bit as well. So someone asked me, what does volume refer to? The number of exercises, the number of sets. Volume usually means the number of work sets and or the total amount of work volume. And we're usually talking about work volume. So that means, work that's like 50% 1 rep max and above. Cool thing at the gym today, I met a guy named David who had been watching Lewis Morgan, the co-owner of Gymshark, his Snapchats. And then he even said, David was saying that Lewis was giving him all kinds of tips and advice. He was asking him lots of questions about business and all these different things. And I was just thinking to myself, holy crap. It's like, here you got the owner of Gymshark who's hella busy all the time, just doing business all the time, taking time out and just helping someone one-on-one. So that package, I'm really hoping it's in the mailbox because I don't see it in front of my door. Remember that package I was talking about, right? It better be here today, I swear. I'm trying to remain calm. This is a package that I needed very badly. And I'm wondering where it was. It's not in the mailbox. It's not in my door. I go and check the shipping confirmation and it says it was delivered around 7 o'clock. I call Megan. I'm like, did you happen to accept the package? She tells me this really long story about how she was in her car and then the postman stops her and is like, hey, take this package. And she accepts it and then drives home and she's at her house and she lives 30 minutes away. So I paid $45 extra for 1-day express priority meal shipping on a Friday, and I'll get the package on a Wednesday. Ask me, Matt, organic, non-GMO foods is better than regular food. Dude, I recommend you guys just do your research, and at the same time, don't become like an anti-vaxxer. If you are doing research, if you actually are doing research, don't just read articles, but read real studies. Real studies, not just, oh, this website said this. I want you guys to guess what's in this box right here. Think of it, take 5 seconds, take a guess. Pro tip, if you snap me wearing LOA gear, there's a really good chance I'll probably answer your question first and prioritize that shit. Another box! DJ Khaled celebrates success with Ciroc, Apple. What do I celebrate success with? Placebo effects. Apple cider vinegar. Should you train while you're sick? Can you train while you're sick? We'll start with the can. You can train if it's a very light kind of cold. Now if you have flu or fever-like symptoms, you may just want to stay home and rest, drink plenty of water, and just chill. Apple cider vinegar, brags, placebo effects. I probably drink 3 to 4 servings of 15 to 30 milliliters a serving per day. So I got a question from someone that's been doing 11 cycles of Wendler 531, And I think he kind of is just wondering like when he should either move on or what the deal is. Now, what I mean by Wendler in general is Wendler usually only applies to 4 lifts and the percentages in the sets and rep schemes for just those 4 lifts. Technically, outside of those 4 lifts, if you want muscles to grow, you have to directly hit each and every muscle you want to grow besides the ones that are directly hit from those, big 4. Now, I believe I stopped doing Wendler when I got into a legs push pull off kind of split, and it might have been at the beginning of my cut. I'm not totally sure. I might have spent some, bulking months doing a legs push pull, but I think I stopped doing Wendler when I started to do top set PR, auto-regulated RPE based training for my big compound. But so guys, in general, Wendler is a great reps, sets, percentages scheme to build strength in your big 4 lifts. Now, regardless of whether you do or don't do Wendler 531, you still have to, hit that body with volume in every single muscle twice a week or more. Someone snapped me and kind of got something backwards. I'm actually doing about the same amount of volume-ish as when I was in my lean gaining phase, just lower intensity. Somebody wanted to know, Matt, what's RPE? Can you explain that? First, guys, Google, screenshot basically what's on the screen right now. Take a good look at what you see, the first few things. RPE stands for rate of perceived exertion. A different version of RPE, kind of a replacement of it, is RIR, reps in reserve. And both are used as tools to describe the difficulty of a given set, of a given amount of reps that you did in that set. RPE scales from 1 to 10, 10 being, holy crap, that's it, no more weight, no more reps. RPE 9 being, oh, I could have maybe done, one more rep. RIR in relation to the RPE, whoa, scale, strong. An RPE of 10 is like saying 0 reps in reserve. An RPE of 9 is like saying 1 rep left in reserve. RPE 8 is like saying 2 reps left in reserve. Don't get too carried away with the numbers. You're mainly focusing on the higher RPE numbers, the 7 to 10 kind of range is the things that you're actually worrying about. Likewise, you could describe like a warm-up. Say I'm going to do 315 for 5 on bench press and I'm doing 135. That 135 is like a RPE 4 or 5. And of course, RPE depends on the total number of reps. So not just the weight, but the number of reps we're talking about as well. So RPE is generally used in a couple different ways. One could be like telling your client, hey, I want you to do 5 sets around 8 reps at RPE 8.5%. Now what that means is you didn't prescribe that client to hit a certain weight. You told him to hit a certain difficulty per set. What this allows is fluctuation in strength, work capacity, how much sleep you got, your nutrition over the past couple days. All these play into your work. Think of it like this. Your 1 rep max for a lift on any given day at different times is going to be different based on your mood, based on what you ate, based on how you slept, all these different things. So what being prescribed a certain amount of sets and reps based off RPE is like, hey, you're going to train this particularly hard for this many sets of reps. Now, another way of utilizing RPE would be like to work up to a top set where you're told to hit 8.5 or 9, and then from there you take a fatigue percentage drop. Now, it's still being worked out, but the idea is to help you maximize the volume you could possibly hit in a given day at the highest load possible. Generally, you'll see more RPE and RIR kind of scales and programs being utilized in strength athletes, specifically more so than physique athletes. If you want to learn more about strength training fundamentals like RPE, DUP, and a lot of these other terms, get yourself the pyramids. I don't even know if I'm technically supposed to be doing this, but I want to give you a little preview through the table of contents real quick, as you guys can see. So as you see, tons of stuff: exercise selection, rest periods, lifting tempo, sample training programs, more resources, going backwards a little bit, progression. Chapter 2 right here probably answers maybe 50% of the questions I get about training. That's insane. Over here in progression, that is one of my favorite topics when it comes to training. And like, I love these subtitles too. Like in chapter 1, level 1 adherence, flexible. Do you have flexibility in your program to accommodate the unexpected and move forward? Level 2, volume, intensity, frequency. Topics such as measuring intensity, frequency, how frequency impacts training, frequency recommendations, intensity considerations for hypertrophy. This damn ebook has practically everything in it training-wise, save exercise tutorials, which you could just watch my videos or just Google how to perform it. Oh, and also there's really cute pictures of me. But once you type in auguspyramid.com, you basically get taken to this site and you can read more about what you're about to be getting. So I got a snap from someone who's like lean as hell, vascular as hell. He has veins in his region above his and yet still he does not have abs. Man, it's just really crazy the role that genetics play. Like, we're all different in the craziest ways, man. Like, for example, my abs look shredded as hell, but my back is like fat as. And sometimes it's just like accepting it. Just accepting it. It's crazy. Like, sometimes you don't want to. Like, I don't want to accept my back is fat. So thoughts on HMB and ZMA. Let's get into it. You guys ready? Beta hydroxy beta methyl butyrate, HMB. So a key thing about HMB is a metabolite of leucine, but it's not anabolic like leucine is. Leucine being an amino acid. HMB is anti-catabolic. So, in other words, that means that you would not take HMB, definitely wouldn't take it if you were in a gaining phase, in a bulking phase. Now, it may be something that you maybe want to take for the slight effect it may have at having anti-catabolic properties. And you have extra money. That's the main thing. If you have extra money, this isn't something you buy first. You'd buy like creatine much before you'd buy this. All right, ZMA, zinc and magnesium, ZMA. Being deficient in zinc can have a negative effect on your metabolic rate, on your metabolism. If you're deficient in zinc, it can kind of mess with your thyroid. Your thyroid being basically your metabolism gland. So some symptoms of magnesium deficiency include agitation, anxiety, restless leg syndrome, sleep disorders, irritability, nausea, abnormal heart rhythms, low blood pressure, confusion. In other words, some symptoms of magnesium deficiency include basically trouble sleeping. Isn't that interesting, guys? How everyone markets ZMA as a sleeping product? I wonder why. And also, guys, zinc, a deficiency in it can lower your testosterone. So in other words, supplementing with zinc can raise your testosterone if you're deficient. So, are you deficient? Are you not? Think like this. Do you find yourself eating red meat ever? Dairy? Do you take a multivitamin? If you take a good multivitamin that has zinc and magnesium, then you probably don't need ZMA. And if you aren't taking a good multivitamin or one at all, and you do get ZMA, that's probably when you will feel it the most. But then it's interesting, we have anecdote. We got people that aren't necessarily deficient in zinc or magnesium because they eat the foods and they take the vitamins, but they still feel like it helps. So then you're probably wondering, Matt, should I buy it? Is it worth it? Guys, I'm looking here at the list of recommended supplements on the muscle pyramid, and I can't find it. If you do want to know the supplements that Eric Helms recommends, definitely check out the Muscle and Strength Pyramid. It's in the nutrition ebook specifically. And that covers dosage, timing, etc. All right, guys, I'm going to tell you the truth about glutamine. It's supposed to build muscle. It's not proven to enhance muscle building in healthy individuals, it says. Has been proven to enhance muscle building only those suffering from physical trauma such as burns, knife wounds, disease states like AIDS. Now it can help for intestinal health. Intestinal health. That's it. Not muscles. No. On the stuff we're looking for. Okay, fat mass. The addition of glutamine supplementation to an exercise regimen has failed to outperform placebo in reducing fat mass. Lean mass. Supplemental glutamine does not appear capable of increasing lean mass when paired with a weightlifting routine. Look at that, very high. Sorry about that. Very high in terms of the consistency of the research results. So out of all the studies, it was very consistent that this is what they got. What's this? Power output. No significant influence on power output and strength. So in the study called Effective Glutamine Supplementation Combined with Resistant Training in Young Men or Young Adults, you can actually check this out for yourself. It's found that it basically did. Let me do a quick Control F, which is search in the muscle and strength pyramid for glutamine. No matches were found. It's not that important, guys. There you go, guys. Glutamine. Examine.com. The muscle and strength nutrition pyramids. Glutamine. I'll be signing off for the night pretty soon, guys. I've been working on my full day of cutting eating video. I'm very shirtless in most of this video. So a homie just sent me a picture of Crealkaline, asked me what I think. Guys, creatine monohydrate is the only creatine I recommend. All these other forms of creatine that are supposed to like last through your stomach and this and that, at maximum they'll only work as good as creatine monohydrate. So yeah, guys, sometimes tomorrow, either tomorrow morning or afternoon, the full day of cutting video should be up. If it's not, like, pester me, get on my ass. Advice on nutrition if you haven't been able to lift for the last handful of months. To be honest, it'd be the same exact kind of advice I'd give anyone, no matter if you've been lifting or not. Puberty-induced gyno. Man, to be honest, I'm definitely not very experienced. I don't really know this area too well. I say first, probably talk to your doctor. 2, it's probably not that big of a deal. You know, just stay focused on training in the gym and, you know, doing what you can. And over time, I'm sure that over time, either it will just go away or you'll end up finding a cosmetic solution or something. Leave you guys with a snap of today's workout, just a little teaser, and definitely check out the muscle and strength pyramids, link right there, screenshot if you must.